Hey, good morning. I'm off on a little jaunt through the country, filming a little bit for the next video in the series Sweet Spot, Finding That Gravel Wheel and Tire. But that's not what this is about. Today, at this moment, I am introducing my latest ride to coffee video. I went down and visited Thomus Bikes down in Santa Monica, California. Now, you may not have heard of Thomus Bikes. It's a well-established brand in Switzerland who just recently decided to make some ripples in the USA bike pond. So I went down to visit them and putted around town a little bit on a big old e-mountain bike, which was a lot of fun. Had some amazing coffee and a absolutely delicious hazelnut, or should I say Nutella croissant. Anyway, here is Thomus Bikes. Roll 'em. Hey, Granny Gear here for Old Guy in a Bike. I bet you didn't expect me to be riding this, did you? Power to the max. You know, I used to be a mountain bike rider. Maybe I will be someday. Maybe this will get me back on it. I'm here with Thomus Bikes. We're gonna go for a quick ride. We're gonna grab coffee. We'll be back and I'll be telling you about this brand and who they are and what they do. Stay tuned. Not too bad. Pretty quiet motor. This uses a Shimano motor system.
I will make it easy for you now. You got 2 minutes of my time.
Oh, look at this house. Wow. That's awesome. I had completely forgotten how good mountain bike brakes are. Holy smokes. Oh man, there's just some amazing little places tucked in here. Each comes with a his and hers Tesla.
Just watch me breaking your sphere. You're falling into me, touch me.
We're in the dirt.
You will do anything that I want. So keep us awake till the dawn. Ooh, baby, feel free. I wanna make you sweat on me. I got you wrapped around my finger, but don't you try to call me tomorrow.
Well, we are back from our ride. We are back from coffee. It was an awesome coffee and a hazelnut Nutella pastry. That was just the bomb.
Primo passo.
I know, right? I'm here with Thomus Bikes, and they're new to the U.S. It's a Swiss brand. We'll be talking with Casper here. He's going to take us through what this brand is about, what they're bringing to the United States, and here we go. Casper? That was awesome. That was a cool little jaunt through the back streets of Santa Monica.
That was a fun ride. Glad to introduce you to the trails and our amazing light rider.
It was, it was. Thomus Bikes, I think that's a name that probably doesn't mean a lot to most of the U.S. market. So tell me about Thomus Bikes. What's up with these guys?
So Thomus Bikes has been around in Switzerland for more than 30 years. So it's a very, very well-known brand. In fact, they have a leading UCI mountain bike professional racing team that's currently the top ranked team in the world, #1 women's rider in the World Cup, won world championships, European championships, everything there is to win, accolades upon accolades. So a very, very well established brand in Europe and specifically in Switzerland, but like you said, not that well known to the US yet. But that's why we like to say it's the greatest bike brand you may not have heard of.
Yeah, because when I first was talking about coming down here, I'm like, Thomus Bikes, you know? But it's not like brand new. It's an established brand.
Absolutely, and their engineering is obviously world class because they're supplying a professional mountain bike team that is winning at the top international level. Yeah. And the same design team that develops those bikes is also developing all the road bikes, gravel bikes, commuters. In Switzerland, they have a much broader range than we carry here in the US, but the concept is the same. Every bike is built specifically for that customer's expected use in their budget. We have this showroom here, as well as a factory downstairs, where we build all the bikes exactly how they do in Switzerland. So this is as close as you can come to a mirror copy with an American twist.
Yeah. And that you said that, there's a wide range of bikes you guys are doing. Mountain bike, are all the mountain bikes e-mountain bikes, or some of them?
No, in fact, the mountain bike that the professional team rides is manual, of course. So that one is called the Light Rider World Cup.
Okay.
World Cup because it competes on the World Cup circuit.
So light and fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Light Rider is the name for the the mountain bikes, and then the Light Rider E2 is the electric mountain bike.
Okay. Now, what was the one that I rode today? That was a lot of fun.
That was
a big
the
boy.
Light Rider E2 Pro.
Man.
So that is what I like to say is it's a no compromises electric mountain bike. It has big travel. It has 160 millimeters front and rear, the way it's set up here. It has a very powerful Shimano EP8 motor, 500 watts, and massive torque to get you up anything. Yeah. And it has a huge battery that is, the total bike weighs about 48 pounds, but it can go for 100 miles. Wow. Which is phenomenal range for that level of power.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Well, I only put it in level 2. Most of the time we weren't doing anything challenging. We're just cruising. I'm having a good time, and you're breathing hard, and I'm not. And this is awesome. But in level 2, I was stunned by how much. Man, that's got to be a lot of fun and a lot of boost on a rough trail. I can imagine what the top level must be. Just very fun bike to ride.
Yeah, the boost mode really can get anyone over anything. No matter what your terrain obstacle is, it can get you over that.
And it was pretty smooth. The system was pretty smooth. The way it came on and off, it was decently quiet. Yeah, I had a good time.
Well, that's why, like we were talking about, there's been several generations of electric bike motors now. Now we're arguably in the second or third generation, but through all that, the Shimano system remains the industry standard and state of the art. They really have the system dialed in, and that's why it's the choice for that bike, for the no compromises.
So outside of that, you're doing, I see some very, very nice road bikes, analog, right? Carbon, very high-end, beautiful frames, nice finish and all of that.
Yeah.
And you've got gravel bikes too. And you've got your I guess your urban alternative type of e-bike. I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on. So what are you guys doing in gravel? That's a hot market.
The gravel bike is actually the first one that I got from the Thomas line because it's fairly unique in the gravel world. It has pretty racy geometry, so not a super long wheelbase. It's pretty tight and responsive. And at the same time, it has massive tire clearance, so you can run really fat tires to go over aggressive terrain. So
what is the limit of that officially? 700 by 50? Is that what I read?
Correct.
50.
Up to 50.
That's generous. Yeah.
That's a lot of tire. That's a lot of rubber on the road.
And even if you don't want a 50, if you want a 42 or 45, that gives you quite a bit of mud clearance room and whatnot. So,
exactly. Yeah. And that bike's called the Slicker X. So the drop bar models are the Slicker, and the Slicker X is the gravel or cyclocross, if you wish.
Okay. Yeah.
Hence the X.
Yeah.
And the road model is called the Slicker Pro.
Now, you were riding the X today,
the
right? The red one. That was a pretty bike.
Yeah. It is. It's Thomas Red.
Yeah.
It's the
that's a great color.
Signature team color.
Is it?
I'm representing right here.
Nice. And I mean, how do you build? You have, like, I say, one frame of different builds. Is that what I would kind of work typically?
That's correct.
Okay.
And we have, as I mentioned, we have a similar system to how they operate in Switzerland, which is the customer comes in the store, we work with them collaboratively to figure out what's the right build for them, and then we'll build that bike with those components in our workshop downstairs. We also offer preset builds. So we've basically taken, decades of experience in-house to come up with the current set of components that would be what we'd recommend for almost everyone in almost every case. So in that case, with the Slicker X, for example, the gravel bike, it can be built around $5,100 with SRAM rival, and very sensible spec. It has quality FSA cockpit and head wheels to round out the package. So it's stuff that we consider reliable and bulletproof.
So it sounds a little bit concierge slash boutique. There's a little aspect to it. I mean, this showroom is very nice.
Well, thank you.
This is a very cool place. Actually, just come in and shop around. So you were telling me about your program to get more people on bikes, to touch in that advocacy, you know, kind of that urban environment, get people out of their cars and on bikes. What do you got going for that?
So we've been very close partners with the Chamber of Commerce here in Santa Monica, as well as with Bike LA, because we do believe in getting more people on bikes as a way of decreasing traffic congestion, you know, the environmental impacts, etc. More than 50% of all car trips across the country are for a distance of less than 3 miles. Going to the post office and you're just dropping off a letter, or you're going to the supermarket and you have a small package to pick up. That's a great opportunity for a bike. So we feel like there are a lot of advantages to promoting electric bikes, and in our case, we have some of the finest electric bikes from Switzerland, as well as some other brands that we carry as well. Most recently introduced bike, it had its grand unveiling here in this shop in January this year. And it's basically a very versatile bike that can be set up with off-road tires and off-road gearing, or you can put on drop bars and more road gearing and slick tires. But all in any case, it has a very lightweight light assist motor. So the entire bike weight is 27 pounds or less.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's pretty affordable for what it is, in the range of $5,000 to $6,000.
Well, it's beautiful. I mean, sometimes an e-bike, they're kind of ugly, honestly. When I look at them, I'm used to looking at bicycles being kind of a beautiful thing, but that one was pretty darn good looking, I think,
It's funny that the highest compliment you can pay for an e-bike is that it doesn't look like an e-bike.
Totally true, totally true. So Casper, besides the main brands of Thomas, of course, you're also carrying some other in the e-bike line that kind of give you a lot of choice. Quickly, what else do you guys have to offer?
Yeah, we always like to say Thomas USA is both a manufacturer and a retailer, and on the retail side, we've really worked hard to curate some of the best in the industry. So we've pulled together partners across all ranges of components and apparel and accessories. So we carry DT Swiss and Head for wheels. We have Lake shoes. We have POC, Abus, and Limar for helmets and protection. And overall, we don't have every brand of every type of accessory available, but we have again, applying decades of experience among our staff in-house. We picked our component partners and our parts and accessories partners that are reliable and bulletproof, and just we know are going to have a good effect on our customer, and everyone's going to be happy with what they get here.
So look, most important question of all as we wrap up, do you sell Swiss chocolates here?
We can give them away, but we don't sell them.
You were doing great right into them.
You have to buy a bike.
Oh, well,
then we'll get you the Swiss
all right. I guess that's a fair deal. Well, Casper, what a pleasure getting to meet you and getting to meet Thomas. And it was awesome coming down to Santa Monica and cruising the neighborhood where all the rich and famous people live in little enclaves, hiding in their little...
we see them outside the window.
I know. Hey, I think that's somebody famous, but I don't know. Well, I'm looking forward to maybe getting on a Thomas bike at some point. And you guys get us maybe on your list. It'd be fun to see one of your gravel bikes, what that's all about. Analog or something electrified. You know, I'm getting old, man. Maybe that felt pretty good today. Who knows?
With assist or without.
Yeah, it's
we'll
all
help
great.
you out.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.